Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets&Quants. Welcome to another edition of Fridays with Sandy
I'm
Kreisberg.
I'm Sandy Kreisberg, the
Indeed, and we have
guru,
a
the
20.
HBS and other school gurus. Why
That's
don't you
really
tell us
true.
about our candidate today, John?
We have a 26-year-old financial analyst with a 720 GMAT, a 3.65 GPA. His name is Matthew. Why don't you tell us about your jobs? You've had 3 jobs since graduating from undergrad.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, guys. So I started right out of college at a public accounting firm for about 3 years, and then I transitioned to a role at a small consulting firm in Singapore for about a year, and then I came back to the U.S. and now I currently work for Thomson Reuters as a financial analyst.
Okay. Thomson Reuters is a classy company, so that's a plus. Let's just go through this. On the merits, you got a 720 and a 365. You strike me as a white male. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. The Kellogg. Let's just get this out of the way. Kellogg, you're not given anything. Their average GMAT is 728. Their GPA is 3.6. So you'd have to give them a reason to take you. I don't want to be too harsh, but what would that reason be?
So yeah, I mean, that definitely is kind of my reach school. I mean, I suppose I think my main thing that I can touch on is just my passion for diversity and just the various experience I have with that, living internationally. And also when I was in college, I was involved in the Malaysian Student Association, just through friends I had through that. So
okay, you are Malaysian American? Have I got that?
I'm not. No, it's just I just happen to have a lot of international friends, and that's kind of something I'm passionate about.
Okay.
Diversity initiatives.
Okay. So we're going to call Kellogg a reach. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as to the other places, Ross, Fuqua, and Cornell.
Yep.
Their average GMAT is sort of 700. Ross is 708. Fuqua is 695. Cornell is 700. So for a white male, you're in line there, and your GPA is a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, what they're going to make of your work.
Right.
Do they want a guy with accounting? Do they want a guy with an accounting background? John, what do you think?
I think look, I think he has a good shot at those 3 schools, and I think that they're smartly chosen schools.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think Matthew wasn't with the big 3.
Right.
So that's one issue. Your undergrad is not an elite institution.
No.
You want to name that here? It's
St. Cloud State University.
Say that again?
St. Cloud State University. It's in Minnesota.
Okay, good. So that's a well-respected school in Minnesota, but not a kind of a national school.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in many cases at these schools, it is an elitist game to some extent. They'll deny that, but it's really true. When you look at the stats, it is. That's why Kellogg is a reach.
Yeah.
But I think Cornell, Duke, and Michigan are good possibilities for you. I probably would add 1 or 2 other schools as well into that mix, just to make sure you.
Yeah, okay, good. So what's your narrative going to be? You want to go into management consulting, and can you say that there's a part of that your background would really help you with? That's a story the schools might be responsive.
Right. I mean, I think just my experience doing that in Singapore, it was in a limited capacity and not for a long amount of time, but that's kind of how I got my foot in the door there and how I, became interested in it. And then,
here's what you should do. You should talk about a couple of key projects that you did in Singapore. Engagements, that's the word.
Totally.
Engagements. Yeah. So
right.
What you should do when you apply to these schools, you go, I'm trying to build out my experience as having my experience as both an accountant and a strategic consultant. Some important events in my life happened on this project and that project when I was working in Singapore and stationed in the US. So do you have a couple of projects that come to mind?
Yeah, I mean, the main one that I usually bring up is the one in Singapore. We did a consultation for a large, a company that owns a bunch of hotels and restaurants, so hospitality industry. And they owned, a large amount of farmland, and they were trying to decide whether they wanted to invest in it, rent it out, or sell it. So
yeah, so that's a good example of,
yeah,
that's a good example that combines both the financial analysis and strategic issues. And you should present yourself as someone who wants to do work like that for you don't have to say, top firms is a good way to put it. You don't have to say MBB, okay?
right, yeah,
And if you could find firms that have an Asian client base or work in Asia or work or strategic consulting firms that also do this, have a kind of an accounting bias, that would be good too. You're also, what you got going for you is like captain of the tennis team. I respect that.
Yep, that's a big deal. I thought that popped out too. And the Singapore experience is a big deal, particularly because you are a white American male.
Right. And I mean, you talked about my school not being as elite. I mean, that was the reason I went to that school, is because I was recruited to play tennis there. So, I mean, certainly I could have gotten into.
You should definitely point that out. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really helpful to mention. Yeah. And the other stuff there's a lot of leadership stuff, accounting club president and business student executive council member. Schools like people like that, because they think you're going to be an active member at their campus and a loyal alum. So that stuff is worth stressing.
Right. Okay.
And Matthew, you're based in New York right now?
No, I'm in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yep.
That's great.
And I support this office and then also the office down in Dallas.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Your resume, I would make your resume more of the resume I'm reading and the one we have is maybe a resume for another job.
Right.
Resume for business school is different. What you want to do is sound financial analyst too. Boy, my heart sinks. What you want? Sorry, I'm giving it.
No, it's fine.
Trying to help you here. View that as like an injection. This will only hurt for a minute. What you want to do is describe that in a much more narrative, much more wide open way. You could even say financial analyst too, and what you should do is say major engagements include, or no, select engagements include. We don't need this forecast and oversee expense budget and oversee timely submissions of revenue. It's kind of baked in.
Right. Okay.
What you should do in the resume, Thomson Reuters, that's good. 500 company, good. Financial analyst too. And then I would drop all those bullets. I would say select engagements include, and then I would pick 3. Can you do that? I realize you've only been there
1 year.
Yep, it's been about a year now. So yeah, I can certainly rework it and try to.
Okay, but that's what I would suggest, and that's the way I would work the other stuff.
Okay.
All right. And are you intending to apply now, or what's your deal?
Yeah, I've been working with an admissions consultant on my essays and probably rework my resume a little bit. And I'm hoping to get them in this early January timeframe. And then if I end up not getting into any of my target schools, then I would, reapply at early admission at one of the other schools.
Yeah. Has your consultant said anything that we missed?
Well, I think the main thing she's concerned about is my GMAT splits, because it is a 720, but it's a 46 quant and then a 42 verbal. So that would be the main thing that she's concerned about.
The quant percent score is low, right?
Right. Yep.
And you're a financial analyst.
That's correct. Yeah, and I only was able to take the GMAT once so far. So I'm thinking of retaking it.
Here's again. Okay, it's the same tough love I give to everybody. What is it, John?
Take it again.
Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing you can do in your life to help your chances of getting admitted to business school or taking the GMAT again.
And here's the other thing. People who take it a second time, I think the
Score goes up.
average
Yeah.
increase is like 30 points or something, 25, 30 points.
Well, if that
Right.
happened, you'd be in real good shape. But even if the score remained close to the same and the splits, the percentages were better.
Yeah,
Right.
because your overall score is it's definitely in the pocket for these schools other than Kellogg.
Right. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that
so
would be-
Sandy, what are the odds for Kellogg?
10%. They're real low. You've got nothing to give them. You'd
Mhm.
have to come up with some kind of narrative. And I'll be honest with you, you are their type, actually. I take it back, They go for well-rounded people. They like tennis team captains, but the basics are just low. I think your chances there are real reach stuff, 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
And what about Cornell?
The other places, correct me if I'm wrong, John, or Ross, Fuqua, Cornell, the analysis would be the same. It's just a matter of them liking you. You fit in to the pocket. You've got to present yourself. Have you visited these places?
Yeah, I haven't been able to yet, but I'm hoping to, early in January.
You see, because what they look for in guys like you who are, in the group, and then they've got to choose from the white males, which ones are we going to take? If you've shown them some love, that could really make a difference. If you visited, make friends, tell them why they're great for you, yada, yada, yada. That's what I would do. I'd say your chances there are 30, 40%.
Okay.
With serviceable. Yeah, it sounds like your consultant knows what she's doing, so she can help. 30, 40%. I think you should get into one of them. And if you don't, this is second round.
You might also want to apply to UVA Darden. Would be a good school for you.
Yeah, it seems like they have a great program, so I'm certainly been looking at them as well.
The
Yeah.
other thing you might consider is NCOD.
I was going to ask what your thoughts are on
Well,
international ones.
You know Sandy's thoughts, John.
I know Sandy is not in favor of that, but
Okay.
I think you've given your international bent and your deep interest in
Take
that.
it back. Would you be willing to work for a consulting company outside of the U.S.?
I would be, yes. I think the main reason I hadn't looked at international ones is because I was hoping to do a 2-year program, just because it seems like it'd be more of a transformative experience than a lot of these international ones that are 1 year.
It would be, and I prefer a 2-year program, and so does Sandy. So, one other option would be London Business School.
I sit corrected about INSEAD. That could be a good choice for you.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay.
And it's a year, save money, blah, blah. So that's your story.
Sure.
I like you. Captain of the tennis team and, work for the alumni. And you're a solid guy.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Well, Matthew, good luck to you. And to all of you out there watching, good luck on your journey to a great MBA. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks, Matt.
Okay, John.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Hasta la vista.